I drink coffee instead of sleeping, so I'm fine, right? Caffeine is the most consumed stimulant in the world. The chemical induces reactions throughout the body that normally occur in tense situations. When we sense danger, for example, the pituitary gland activates the adrenal glands to secrete epinephrine or adrenaline into our blood. Adrenaline is the hormone that meant to be released when we are under stress and need to muster energy to, say, outrun a bear or lift a fallen boulder of our climbing partner. He's probably not alive anymore, but it's worth checking. Caffeine increases adrenaline levels in the blood. It has repeatedly been shown to improve athletic performance in the short term, from how high a person can jump to how fast a person can swim. The hormone surge also creates a buzz. To lift the boulder, we need a flood of energy to fuel our muscles. But first, we need to think we can lift the boulder. The psychoactive component of caffeine is what makes anything seem possible when brainstorming during your third hour in a coffee shop. Caffeine works primarily by blocking the action of a chemical called adenosine, adenosine which slows down our neural activity, allowing us to relax, rest, and sleep. By interfering with it, caffeine cuts the brake lines of the brain's alertness system. Eventually, we don't allow our body to relax. The buzz turns to anxiety. Thanks to caffeine, many of us stimulate the fight or flight response, not just occasionally, under dire circumstances, but daily. In our offices, 85% of US adults consumes more form of caffeine most days, with an average daily dose of 300 milligrams, roughly 27 ounces of coffee. Strategic use of small amounts of caffeine can be cognitively advantageous, but at such high dose, caffeine is likely to throw off our sleep and energy cycles in the long term, altering the body's internal clock. At that point, many people go in search of products to help them sleep. But there's no real danger in consuming a lot of caffeine, right? Can coffee make you live longer? We frequently hear that drinking a small amount of coffee can be healthy. This always comes back to evidence that some coffee drinking is a common behavior among long-lived, healthy people across populations. News stories tend to interpret that evidence of optimistically reporting that coffee may be good for you. In reality, it might just be an interesting correlation. Randomized controlled trials or nutrition are extremely difficult to conduct, as the effects of dietary changes are complex and often take years, if not a lifetime, to reveal themselves. Those who claim that coffee is healthful tend to point to its high level of antioxidants, but antioxidant supplements have not been proved to correlate with health or longevity. Antioxidants represent a vast spectrum of substances, vitamin E and the antioxidant, and taking vitamin E supplements has shown to increase men's risk of prostate cancer. If coffee does have an effect on longevity, it is likely a result of something more global than the potential effect of antioxidants, such as the fact that constant exposure to caffeine, even at low levels, suppresses appetite. In a world where most people eat more than is ideal, or that is or that it encourages social interactions, it inclines us to go out and do things with people, which itself is generally beneficial to health. There are legitimately positive results, but as with all chemicals, the comprehensive effect of caffeine on our health depends on how and how much we use it. In 2013, a 24-year-old advertising copywriter in Indonesia died after prolonged sleep deprivation, collapsing a few hours after tweeting 30 hours of working and still going strong. She went into a coma and died next morning. A family acquaintance wrote on Facebook she died because too much of overtime working and too much creatinine attacks her heart. Creatinine, dying, in the Thai name of the product known elsewhere as Red Bull. Sleep deprivation is clearly linked to heart disease and strokes. Beyond that, the vitamin, caffeine, amino acid concoctions known collectively as energy drinks have been implicated in thousands of emergency room visits in recent years. Energy drink related ER visits doubled from 2007 to 2011 according to the US Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. For now, this is simply a correlation with a plausible explanation that one could be causing the other. It is not proof of harm, and yet, notes Michael Jacobson, and head of the Center of Science in the Public Interest, there are several fatalities possibly related to energy drinks, and several lawsuits. In some people, it appears to be due to underlying heart defects. When they get this dose of caffeine, they succumb. Although the FDA warns us rather unambiguously that caffeine overdose is dangerous and can kill you, I have not seen that happen. And Jacobson, a public health advocate, confirms that except at extraordinary high levels, caffeine isn't known to kill otherwise healthy people. It may not be the sole culprit in hospitalizations related to energy drinks. After all, many of the people who have been hospitalized after consuming energy drinks are presumably also coffee drinkers, notes Jacobson, but few, if any, have been made acutely ill by coffee.